Hmm. Hello, YouTube. Hello, 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 hello. This, I don't know if this thing's working or not. I assume so, because I don't trust that bar at the bottom. Oh, too close to my mouth. I remember it gets a little backfeed. I'm not really sure why, but that should be all right there. It's just too bad I can't actually hear myself talk, so I know how good or bad the audio is. Right. I'm kind of doing this video for my missus or for my fiance Rona. Hey Rona, I'm a bit tired. Yes, this is only one drink, so before she gets mad, it's one drink. Okay, it's just one. See, just one. Having any more, just one. All right, cool. Um, anyway, so let's talk about everything Google hates. Let's just get into it. Because Google will shadow ban this video immediately because everything I'll talk about in this video, they just don't want people talking. They don't want the world listening. Like they think you're all dumb sheep. So they certainly don't want the dumb sheep listening to opposing views or the information they're not saying because that's all conspiracy, of course. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is black versus white and wokeism. And obviously, I guess wokeism can be put with that gay stuff. Let's talk about that, okay? It's amazing how many people don't realize all of that is just a distraction to keep regular people fighting amongst themselves. I mean, it's said by enough YouTubers, and a lot of people will say, yeah, we know that. But there's a lot of people that don't know that, really. But the reason why they always like divert with these little tactics and these little nuanced things and things that have a cultural impact, they don't. They don't. Nope. They don't have a cultural impact. Sorry. Nope. And you know why? Because they, in the big scheme of things, they have no impact on anyone's life whatsoever. Somebody thinking something or doing something has no effect on you ever in your life. So talking about it is just a distraction to stop you looking at real problems and real issues. Um, this is just a known tactic. It's an old wartime tactic used for many things. It's just distraction techniques. All it is nothing special. It's not like a mind manipulation. It's just to take your mind off whatever's going on, so you don't think about it. That's it. Um, there's no brainwashing there. It's just yeah. So as far as black versus white, well, when you think about it, back in the 90s when I grew up, people were not separated by race. We didn't care about that, and we all got along just fine. Amazingly so. We didn't have any issue with anyone's skin color or ethnicity or religion. None of that mattered. It was basically, oh yeah, so like, so you're a Christian, you're a Muslim. Oh, so what? You're black, you're white. So what? That doesn't mean anything. I don't care. We always just judged each other on what we did. So if we were a douche canoe, then yes, we would get judged harshly. And if we were a good person, then perhaps not. Or you just get ignored. But either way, you weren't judged as a douche. So, yeah. And the big perpetrator of most of these, cultural wars, if you want to call it that, there's only one person behind it. His name is George Soros. George Soros, for some reason, has a lot of influence amongst Hollywood and the elite politicians. I believe he must bankroll a lot of them. He's a billionaire, and he got his money by. He's a Jew that come from Nazi Germany, and what he did was he sold his Jewish friends out to the Nazis. Basically, they're hiding there, and when they, the excess went up there, and shot them all, and left. He would go in and steal all the gold. That's how he made his money. He basically killed his own people and stole their money. That's how he got rich. So he's a thief. That's how he became rich. He's a thief, and he hates people. He hates human beings with a passion. Like he genuinely wants us all to die. That's I said die. So now YouTube is going to shadow ban it. Well, big surprise there. Yes, can't have views because I said die. Not allowed to now. So bad, Steve. Oh well, that's it. Not that having views matters to me personally. I don't care if only one person watches this video. If it's just my fiance, all good. I'm happy. If no one watches the video, all good. I'm happy. If 1 million people watch the video, all good. I'm happy. I'm no thought on views, right? Like it means nothing to me personally. I don't get any value out of it. I don't particularly care what other people think, so long as I keep it professional and involve work stuff or talk about things like that, and that's what I care about. I just want to be a professional. You know what I mean? Want to be a good employee. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, we're back to distractions and why they do it. Well, it's you see, like I said, Google and all the other, I want to say Google because they do control like when we talk about media, nobody really acknowledges Google itself as a media entity, but Google actually is a media entity. It's probably one of the largest media, and probably bigger than most of them, really, considering that it decides where the search parameters are, where the media is directed. It censors certain material with an AI bot. The AI bot doesn't really like me, I can say that much. So I must be doing something right. AI hates me. So Terminator, I'm your John Connor. Nah, not really. I can't back that up. But all I can say is, yeah, you are being tracked. Yeah, I don't know about any of that. How about just go away, whatever that is? I don't know about people tracking me. Why would they want to? So, anyway, yeah. So Google is a big media corporation. Their main thing is advertising. So they control a lot of the advertising, where advertising revenue goes, and who gets traffic and who doesn't get traffic, and blah blah blah. So it's got to remember to always follow the money when it comes to media and the voice, like where it's all going, why. Just remember, always follow the money. Like whenever you're lost in an investigation, follow the money. Always follow the money. Okay, following the money always leads you to the truth, because in the end of the day, that's all those people care about. They're very materialistic. They don't care about morals. They don't care about their soul. That's why they're always trying to sell OnlyFans as good, or getting a transsexualism, or because it makes them money. It's all about money, and all this transgender stuff. I'm waiting to think about it. The majority of these transgenders that come out recently, I'm talking about the real ones, like, people that are genuine. I know some people that are genuine, but like these, and you know what? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that a lot of these people, though, like the Dylan Mulvaney's and whatnot, they're all fake. They all do it for money. They're just Madonnas, right? They don't really believe in what they're doing. They don't want to really transition, but they want money, and they will sell their body to get money. That's how they think. So they're basically like prostitutes, but in a different way. But that's essentially what they are. They're just providing a service to the community. They want to see some entertainment, like the old gladiator days. Oh, you entertain. I can't do a very good Russell Crowe, but even as an Australian, I can't do a good Russell Crowe. I'm sorry. All right. I can't. Sorry. Okay. So we've talked about some of that, but would you say that, in particular, that in particular, is it Why do all this? Well, it's easier to have people fight amongst each other. And look, I will say, in genuine speech, most people, I'm sorry to say, are dumb. They're pretty dumb. Like they say to me, "Oh, I don't read," and I tell them every time, you should read, even if it's just fantasy novels, even if it's just comic books, even if it's just magazines, you should read. And you know why? Because reading is part of the learning process in our brain. So if you want to be smarter and absorb more information, like language and finance and worldly knowledge and whatnot, you should read. You should actually read about other things. Not just watch it on videos or listen to it. Read about it. Reading is important. It helps you with your knowledge. All right. There's nothing special about me. I'm not smart. I would never claim to be smart. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're a bit smart or a bit nerdy." No, I genuinely not. I take an interest in some stuff, and then I follow it and see where the rabbit hole goes. That's it. I like history, so I follow that, and I don't know, technology, things like that. Like I particularly like human biology. Or I'm a nurse. I like people. My favorite organ is the brain, actually. Brain and the kidneys. Kidneys are very unique. I like the kidneys, and I like the brain. They're very unique organs. Although a lot of people wouldn't recognize the kidneys as special, when you see what they can do and how intricate they are, you're like, "Oh, yeah, they're pretty impressive as an organ." Like, there are impressive organs out there, but kidneys are, and the brain is like, it's like something else. Fun fact about the brain, actually, if you didn't know, is the brain does not store fat. Hence, it uses about 50% of your body's energy. So that's why. And it likes sugar. So I'm not saying down a lot of sugar to make yourself smarter. What I'm saying, obviously not. You don't need diabetes. No, natural sugars is fine from regular food. You don't need to oversugar. What I'm saying though is that's what the brain uses, right? And it's not gonna just suddenly it's not like you dump a bunch of energy into it and suddenly you're gonna start using it more. No, it's like any other muscle. You have to train it to be better. Hence the reading. Hence why I encourage reading. But yeah, no, read. Absolutely, you should read. Like my language actually from reading improved a lot. I picked up a lot of words. My English improved a lot. I was very bad at English, as most guys are. When we naturally gravitate towards maths, that's just a natural human thing for males to do. We're typically better at maths than females, but females are typically better at English or language. So yeah, you always find that women will genuinely find language a lot easier to learn, and men will find logical things like maths a lot easier to learn. I'm not really sure why that is that way. It just is. It's just a known fact. I would like to see a study on that, though. I'd like to see a study on brain waves and heat and all of that, and like a study of the brain on a male reading articles and doing math equations, and the same for females, and just see what parts of the brains light up and why. It'd be very interesting. See, that's what I mean about like science and that. Like, stuff like that would be really cool. It'd be cool to know about this stuff. What are we doing that's different? Is it different, or are we doing the same but just in a different way? Probably. Like, and when there's talk about using 100% of your brain, well, you already do use 100% of your brain. You know that, right? Like, you just you don't use it all the time. You don't have 100% of your brain switched on all the time. So when you hear people say, "Oh, if humans unlocked 100% of their brain capacity, blah 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 blah, we can do magic powers like telekinesis and whatnot." No, we can't. Okay, if you want to pick up an object, use your hand or foot or whatever. Ooh, telekinesis. That kind of thing. So that's, let's put it this way. If someone said to me or said to you, let's lobotomize 10% of your brain since you don't use it, I bet you wouldn't want that to happen for obvious reasons. Duh. Like, come on. You use that part of your brain, just not all the time. You definitely do not want something cut out of your brain. All right? So, no to that. That's a dumb move. Okay, now back to what they're distracting you from. The obvious corruption. I said something Google doesn't like talking about corruption. It will highlight it as people think it's a conspiracy. But it isn't a conspiracy, okay? It is 100% real. I'm going to give you some great examples from America, because America is full of corruption, just like Australia. Australia is full of corruption. Only thing is to be honest, we don't really follow our politicians here, hence why they have so much corruption. But we really don't pay attention to them. But the American one's always in the news, so it's easy to sort of follow. A great example is Nancy Pelosi does a job where she gets paid like $400,000 a year. Before she went into politics, she wasn't worth millions of dollars, okay? So that wage should have supplemented her pretty well, and she should have been quite comfortable on that, right? And you would have thought that she would have finished with a couple $1 million after her career in politics. She's worth $30 million plus. Why do you think that is? Nancy Pelosi is a criminal. She's basically an insider trader. Prove me wrong, Nancy. Show us your tax statements. Prove me wrong. You won't do that. No way. Absolutely no way you're going to prove me wrong. I'm just a guy. I'm just a random guy on the internet. But you're Nancy Pelosi. You're not going to go in the world and say, I'm actually a criminal. I've been lying to you all and I've been doing illegal stuff to make money. Yeah. So too bad. I'm rich now. And by the way, this isn't Nancy's favorite drink. She's house drinker. Let's see, what is this one? It's not Nancy's favorite. I think she likes wine. She strikes me as a wine person. It is Captain Morgan's. Nothing special. I do like my rums. Anyway, I've drunk like that much. I'm only sipping it. Anyway, back to the video. Another example of criminal corruption is obviously, this will definitely get this video banned because Google has obviously has pockets in with the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons, and we could never ever talk bad about the Clintons, could we? I mean, we could never expect the FBI or the CIA to do their job and arrest Bill, or Hillary. No, couldn't ever expect that. But as we all know, Bill and Hillary are some of the most corrupt human beings in white-collar crime human history, right? For sure. Clinton Foundation, all their missing interns, like literally people getting murdered. Again, prove me wrong, Hillary. Have these people just suddenly turn up in a big media thing and say, hey, look, we're not really dead. We're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that. Do that, Hillary. Do that. Prove they're not dead. All the people that have gone missing and we've never heard anything about them. Their families might want to know. That'd probably be nice for them. So if they're not really dead, I think their families would want to know that. So you got that money that was supposed to go to Haiti, never did. The emails, obviously, and the fact that Hillary showed the emails to a person that wasn't signed off for, viewing those emails, like a judge or I can't remember, or something like that. Again, crime, not supposed to be showing secret documents to people who are not authorized to view secret documents. That's just illegal. You can't do that. So there's that. And Bill obviously going to Epstein Island or Pedo Island or Kitty Diddler Island, or the island of evil, whatever you want to call it. 26 times, and let's be honest here. There's probably a lot of people that went to that island that didn't do bad things, but there's probably a lot that did, and all those people, 100%, should be being investigated and raked into the court, through the court system and jail and whatnot, and getting investigated. But because the FBI have their hands in the pockets of all the rich, or the rich have their hands in the pockets of the FBI, or both, or vice versa, they'll never do that. The FBI will never go, let's they're not going to hold their friends accountable for crimes. Okay, their friends got away with crimes, severe crimes against humanity. I was talking to my friend about it. I mean, did you know that the sex trafficking trade is actually, like the children and all of that, it actually makes more money than the drug trade? Yeah, so you can imagine why, like all the elites that do all these crimes, which is pretty much all of them, they're not going to incriminate themselves. So obviously, when the police or the regular people in that job start getting up there and go, oh yeah, we got all this evidence, you know what happens? The rich people at the top and the directors and all that, they're like, oh no, you can't investigate us. How dare you investigate us? Nope, that case is canned. I'm putting you on desk work in archives or whatever, cold case. I don't want you investigating nothing because you're too good at your job. Can't have that. So yeah, again, Google doesn't want you to know that. Google doesn't want you to know that one of the biggest, most evil things in this world is that children are being taken from their families and sold into sex slavery across the world in such horrific numbers and whatnot. I mean, we're talking in the millions, and it's completely disgusting and evil. I mean, honestly, there should be mercenaries. We should be hiring Blackwater and all the ones that committed war crimes to find these people. We should be hiring bikers and that to go, you know what? The government is going to hire the most villainous people in the world to find these evil pricks and put a bullet in their head. Again, I said something Google doesn't like, so can't have that. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. It used to be, but not anymore. Not anymore. Google said no. No talking about violence, especially if it's against our friends. No, you can't do that. No. Anyway. So yeah, but no, 100%. If you're doing evil deeds, like criminal activities like that, you don't deserve life. So that's my personal thoughts on it. I'm powerless to stop these things from happening, but if I had the power, this would be a full-on world hunting down all these people doing it. Like I would involve the UN and have them bring all their best agencies, and I would basically throw out all the corruption people. I'd be like, nah, I want people that are just dedicated to the job. I'm going to find these people. I'm going to use gangster resources. I'll use Chinese triad. I'll use Japanese mafia or whatever. I'll use every bad person if I have to, because all those people have got families, and I can guarantee you they don't want their families sold into sex slavery and that, and they all see it as evil. I'll be like, we're going to hunt all these people down. We're going to follow them to the ends of the earth, and they'll never escape us. And won't matter how rich or powerful they are, it won't matter who they are, it won't matter what they've done. If they're doing evil like this, they're going down. Right? One way or the other, they can hand themselves in or they're going down. And we're going to bring them down hard. We'll bring down every resource on them. Like they'll think that God himself has come down from heaven to take a shit on them. Like they'll think, oh my God, this is like Jesus has come and he'd come for me. And this is bad. That's what it's going to be like. You know what I mean? Like it'll be some bad shit coming their way. So yeah, all that distraction stuff is to keep you off. Think about it. Epstein and what's her name, Giselle, are the only ones that have been in jail for their crimes, right? That's it. Nobody else. Like none of the others. The information hasn't been released. They got sex tapes on these people like Andrew, like Prince Andrew. Is that his last name? Is Andrew his last name? Is that even a thing? I don't know. I mean, I suppose not, because King Charles is Charles, and Prince William is, yeah, okay, yeah, it's probably his first name. All right, well, that guy, other than his family paying hush money to silence it, which is sad for them, really, because it just besmirches their name. But regardless of that, you know what I mean? Like, they've got tapes on these people. They've got video recording. I mean, Julian Assange said the CIA probably keep these tapes so that they can keep these people, like, you know, keep control of these people. Well, that's great for the CIA, but not great for the world, because the world wants justice, and that ain't justice. And, you know, the CIA has other forms of power, so they shouldn't need to hold blackmail over people to get the power to, you know, do their job, right? So that shouldn't really be a requirement. Obviously, they're spies, so that's what they do. But, like, all I'm saying is, where's the justice? So, yeah, so all that distraction stuff is to keep you... Look, when they talk about releasing aliens, now let's say that they talk about, you know, talking about aliens. Right, think about it like this. So we talked about culture not having an impact on people's lives. I can go into more detail about that, and maybe I will. But for the most part, think about it like this. Okay, so aliens, let's say aliens are real. Let's say they go on about aliens. Hey, we got this footage of aliens. This is genuine aliens. These are genuine pictures of aliens and conversations we've had with aliens. This is where they've said they are. They've got this kind of technology and this and, you know, whatever. Like, let's say they do that. How's that going to change your life in any way? How is that going to help you in any way to know that, right? Does your life improve because you know aliens exist? Does the things around the world change for the better because you know aliens exist? I mean, would anything even matter regarding aliens knowing they exist? Yes, think about it. Just think about it. And I can guarantee you, most of you will go, no, because I'll go to my job and I'll still have the same friends and we'll have something to talk about. That's it. You know, we didn't see the aliens ourselves. We didn't have the conversations with aliens ourselves. We don't know what they want. It doesn't really matter. And our lives just remain the same. And we're here talking about aliens, and we're not talking about what's actually going on, which is the corruption. You know, that's the real problem. That's why inflation is so stinky high. Think about it like this. The banks in 2008 crashed the world economy, all right, with their over borrowing, you know, and their bad management skills, right? No one in those departments went to jail or faced any justice for their poor decisions. I think only in Sweden did that happen. All right. Secondly to that, think about it. Those banks never paid us back. They took the money, the billions of dollars to bail them out. They never paid anyone back for what they did. They never went, oh, by the way, we owe the government trillions of dollars that we, you know, tanked. Or whatever it was, like billions of dollars to keep us afloat. And we have to pay that money back. Okay, because that's how it works with borrowing money, as the bank should know. And guess what? They did it. And did anyone say anything or do anything? No, because you're all distracted about nonsense. So as far as distraction technique works, yeah, it works. You didn't pay attention to anything that really happened. And you can't be upset about it. It's too late now. You know, that was 16 years ago. You did nothing. I did nothing. I was angry about it for sure, but I mean, I was powerless as a human. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we should be going to our senators and our leaders and saying, hey, no, you lent those people money. They've got to pay us back. Okay, because the world ain't free. It don't matter that they stuffed up. It don't matter that the economy tanked for a while. What matters is that you pay your debts back, which they did not do. So that's what I'm saying. Um, and as for this inflation, I mean, think about who's profiting out of all of this. Let me tell you that during this whole financial crisis in Australia, for example, all the big banks are still making record profits. Always every year, record profit, record profit. What? So who do you think is really benefiting from this? Do you think they want inflation to end? Blood out of a stone policy works for them. They're making more money than ever. People still spend stupid amounts of money. Nobody ever goes, you know what? Let's no longer spend stupid amounts of money on things. Let's just not buy stuff. Just buy the essentials and that's it. I guarantee you, if that's all people did, this world would change. If people in Australia, for example, particularly talking to you miners, when you think about this, when somebody says to you, "Oh, this shithole house is worth $750,000," you say to them, "No, it's not. It's a shithole. I'm not paying $750,000 for it. Bye." And everyone should do that, right? And then the house of prices will come down if you stop paying stupid amounts for it. If people actually pay what the thing is worth, then yes, fair enough. But I mean, it's not worth that. So I'm not sure why people are inflating the economy with dumb decisions and then wonder where all your money goes. Yeah, having more money isn't always better. Especially if you don't know what to do with it. If you're just going to be bad at it and just pay whatever someone tells you it is. I mean, look, this is what they do in Indonesia, right? And Thailand. If you are bad at bartering, which Australians are very bad at bartering, I'll say, we're terrible at it. We don't know how to negotiate one bit. I think our economy proves that. They have lost respect for us, right? In Asian culture, having the ability to barter and engage in negotiations is an important respect skill. Without that, you have no respect there. They don't respect you, or they might respect you, but less. They respect you less. So haggling is an important tool. And I'm just saying, if you want respect as a Westerner in an Asian country, learn to haggle, right? And you should haggle in Australia. You shouldn't be paying top dollar for everything. You should use your brain. If these people stop getting ridiculous money for these items, then they'll stop charging ridiculous money for these items. It's pretty simple. It's how the economy works. Supply and demand, as we know. I'm trying to think of other things Google don't want us to talk about. Well, obviously it's the censorship. I mean, they genuinely hate Elon Musk because he doesn't censor his content on X. So nobody should have to censor what they say. If other people don't like what you have to say, they can just leave. Not like they have to listen to you or watch you. They're not obligated to do that. This isn't like no one's got a gun to their head and said, you've got to do this. Like, everyone's got the choice to just go, oh, I don't like what that person says, and I think they're a douche, so I'm not going to listen to them, right? It's neither here nor there. So, yeah. As for these wokies imposing their political views and beliefs and ideologies on people, saying, you have to accept my pronouns and my pretend beliefs. No, we don't. We don't. We're not obligated to do anything of the kind. We don't have to do anything, right? You don't get our respect because you think that you've walked into a room and you're going to get it, right? That's just not going to happen, right? You get respect when you do something and show that you've earned the respect, right? I don't know, like you go in and you do a job that you have to do, and then you do a good job, you're going to earn someone's respect, right? So as for this, you got to call, a man a woman, and vice versa, and we have to bow down to them in the media, and they have to be in every media thing, and it has to be in private public schools, and you have to take God out of schools and all of this stuff. I mean, that's Satanism, okay? For one, that's Satanism, right? So you know that, okay? You might say, oh, no, it's not. It's like, yeah, it is. It is, because you're basically saying God is a lie, and you should follow this demon nonsense, right? Where you have to cut off your genitals and change your whole perception of who you are and who you were born as and who God made you as, because that's not good enough. You have to be this grotesque demon thing, right? So, yeah, I mean, you see it with all these young generations, all uglifying themselves. Like, they're turning themselves into ugly people, like physically and mentally. They're very ugly people. Yeah. Very materialistic, very narcissistic, very ego. Like, they basically absorb all the sins and go, yep, I'm going to do all of that. Why not? I'm going to be the worst human I can possibly be, because why not? What do I have to gain from being decent? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like this I don't care attitude. Like, my life ain't worth nothing. And that's what these Hollywood people want these people to think. They want them to feel utterly worthless. So that's, again, why they want inflation high. Like, even these Hollywood people, right? They're part of it. All right? It's Operation Mockingbird. It's real. They're 100% part of it, whether they believe it or not. They are a part of it. They're told what to say. John Cena is a great example of that. A guy that, was a, an out there wrestler who always was like, antagonistic, blah, 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 a bit of a rebel. Now he's the corporate puppet. Does exactly what he's told when he's told what to say, when to say it. Same as, Jake Paul and his brother Logan. Like, they're all part of that nonsense. They're all part of that group. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Bilderberg group or the other associate, I think, is a lesser version, which is the Bohemian Grove. I think the Bilderberg group is the biggest, not biggest, it's most powerful. It's probably the least amount of members in the Bilderberg group, but it's a real thing. Definitely worth Googling if Google will show you the truth, which it won't. But if you want to know who's running the world, it's the Bilderberg group. It goes back hundreds of years. I'm not really sure what the Bilderberg stands for. Don't know if it has any hidden meaning. I don't think so. It could just be the founder's name, something like that. Or it could just be a way to, nonchalantly say, hey, this is like the something chair factory or something. Don't pay attention to us. We make chairs. Something like that. As for Bohemian Grove, well, they're very Satanistic. Been proven, again, you can look it up. They've got like evil owl statues and do ceremonies and all this. And the ceremonies are Satan ceremonies, okay? Like, before you go, oh, that's nothing. No, it's dedicated to evil. The place is dedicated to evil. They want to do evil there, okay? That's it. The whole purpose in Bohemian Grove is to do evil and control other people, all right? They want to get you to do something, like do the Epstein thing. They want you to do something bad, film you doing it, so that they got power of you. Blackmail you. You got to do what I say, or we get into your life, so we're going to get involved in your life in ways that you didn't want. So you got to do what we say, or we're going to get you. This kind of people they are. It's amazing how many bad people are out there. It really is. In our hearts, humans aren't naturally naturally evil. So it makes you wonder, where all this evil comes from people's hearts. Why are we being evil to each other? But you think it'd be much better if we all loved each other? Not hippie-wise, but just, do things because it's the right thing to do and it's a good thing. Not do evil stuff. Just saying, evil should be the minority. It shouldn't be the majority, which it is. So, yeah. It's honestly, I've wondered how evil actually got so strong, but I realized it's through Hollywood and through media corporations. It's basically tried to subvert culture and beliefs and remove culture and beliefs and put their own culture and beliefs in. It's basically like a divide and conquer thing, and they've been doing it very subtly and slightly, and obviously after the whole gay marriage thing and all of that, they stepped it up. They were like, hey, they're going to let us rub gay stuff in your face. Now we're going to step it up. Now we're going to use it against you. Now we're going to turn it into a weapon. Now we're going to use that weapon to silence you, so you can't talk about what you want to talk about. Now we're going to remove God. Now we're going to tell your children they have to have like sexes change and whatnot. Like, this is what these people think like. And then now you're going to own nothing. Now we're going to take all your money and we're going to control all the money. Like, like everything's going to be completely controlled. That ain't a conspiracy, guys. That's just the facts when you look at all the things together as a big pile, right? If you said, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening, and you put it as a big spider web, ta-da, you've got your castle, right? You see your castle of evil. That's it. It's this imaginary object that controls people in ways that they got no control over, right? So they control your finances, they control your culture, they control your thinking with the television, they control your thinking with the schooling education, they control the job market, they control the economy, like they control literally everything. And you guys can't do anything about it because it's all system. So it's all a part of a, like a paperwork system or a computer system or a web of imaginary web, basically of laws that they've crafted for themselves. Ever wondered why in the justice system, politicians and rich people never ever face jail? Like, there's two sets of laws for different people. In Britain, there's a very good example of that. Obviously, you've got the wokey Muslims, so they call them, the infiltrators. Basically, they're basically got free reign to do evil, right? So they're allowed to do evil because the police don't have guns and the police are scared. They're not trained men like you and me, or we're trained women. They're little children, like, who can't handle being told no. They're little babies in England. So they go after weak people because they know that they can't really go after a person who's running around with a baseball bat or a knife, stabbing people or beating people to death, or throwing acid in people's faces. So they know what could happen to them. They're afraid that they could get hurt. So why do that? Why protect people when you don't have to do that? I don't know if this video is still on YouTube, but I mean, it used to be a Muslim video, actually. People wondering why England has turned into an Islamic state and you have Sharia law over there, and the police are basically the religious police now. It shouldn't even be called the police, the plot or whatever, the Scotland Yard. They should be called, what do they call the religious police in Saudi Arabia? I forgot the name. It had a name, like the honor something or other, or they go around chopping people's heads off. What is it? So basically at like 15%, they start, basically when the population of that country reaches 15% Muslim, they'll start wanting like things in law and whatnot. And basically it increases until the point where you get to about 30%, they start becoming violent and forcing their will. And then at like 50%, they basically start controlling everything and, et cetera, et cetera. I can't remember what the video is. And you know what? That is happening in England right now. You could definitely say that England is now Islamistan, or Islamabad or something, or whatever, something like that. I'm trying to think of a funny name, but I got nothing. Anyway, yeah. So you can basically, yeah. So that's a real thing. Again, this all happened because the EU allowed migrants to cross, and nobody was allowed to use their warships to shoot these boats, which they should have done in the first place. Left sea mines out there, whatever, just said, hey, you're going to come here, you're going to die. It's not going to end the way you hoped it would. You're just going to go, that's it, turn around and go back, or you're dead. Like, no, none of that. But if they had, I guarantee you there wouldn't have been migrant crossings, and they wouldn't have this problem now. I mean, you look at Poland, who never accepted a single migrant. They don't have a single migrant problem whatsoever. Big shock. Ooh. Is anyone even surprised at all by that? That the white people that live in the white cultured country don't have Muslim problems? Wow. Like, big surprise. I can't believe that they don't have terrorism over there. I can't believe that they don't have people pushing the woke agenda and whatnot. You know, like, come on, guys. That's why Christianity is better. See how Christian countries, when they stick to Christian values, don't go down the toilet. Think about that. Think about that. Even the Islamic countries will look at it and go, you've got a point, you know. Either we're too harsh, you are, by the way. Your countries wouldn't be bad if you weren't so harsh on everyone. Like, Iran is a great example of that. Back in the 70s, you had a great culture and then you threw it in the toilet. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more I can talk about right now. Let's just say, look, I expect that this video will not get views, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. Like I said, I don't do this for clout. I don't care about any of that. I have no motives for people watching or not watching. You can do what you want, people. Like, I don't care. It means nothing to me personally. I don't make money off this, and even if I did, I wouldn't care. I don't see why I should have to be a different person. I'm not going to change who I am for anyone, all right? I have my beliefs and who I am, and I'm not changing that to appease anyone. And if that's too bad for you, too bad, is all I can say. That's your problem, that's not mine. So, yeah, I don't expect everyone to agree with me, and I don't particularly care if you do or you don't. You're free to do what you want. So, yeah. Peace out there, everyone. Hope you have a good day or night, whatever. And enjoy. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I always have topics to talk about. I felt like I was really scratching all the straws for this one.